If you could be any glyph, which would you be and why?
I would be an ampersand because I just don't know what I'm going to be next.
I would be an A in Latin. At the same time, I could also be an alpha from the Greek alphabet because I was born in Sicily, a Greek colony.
I think I would love to be the lowercase g because it has so many loops and it has 4 horizontals and no other lowercase letter in the Latin alphabet has it. So I think that's a pretty cool character. I don't have a G in my name, unfortunately, but it's also my favorite character to design, so my favorite glyph to design.
You reply really fast to emails. You respond quickly, you fix things in few minutes, and then you reply back. And generally, you seem like some kind of Energizer bunny, in a way. So, how is your working state? Like, are you constantly interrupted by emails?
Well, you have to manage your time with emails. So when I need to work intensively on something, I quit the email application, and then I make sure I open it a couple of times a day and see if something important came in, and then or something that needs to be replied too fast. If I don't have access to my emails for let's say 2 or 3 days, I have to answer very fast. So because if I don't have access to my emails for a couple of days, then my unread email count goes to 100 or 200 emails, and so I try to keep it in the double digits at least. So, and every once in a while I take the time, sit down and reply to all the emails that are still remaining or not replied to yet.
I know it's your work, but it's kind of also interrupting your work.
Yes and no. I mean, it's as you said, it's part of my job, but of course I also run a studio in Vienna that also needs attention, and so I have to be careful with managing the time. That's true, and I don't always succeed at managing the time properly. So sometimes I know I want to do this, and I keep saying this for 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't get around to it. This happens too. I admit that. So I still have. I think I can still improve with managing my time, but yeah. But support always comes first. So I always have to reply as quickly as possible.
So how many hours do you have each day?
The thing that can sometimes ironically make it easier is when I'm in jet lag. Because I travel a lot. I'm like every other week I'm at a different conference, and this is also a time when it's more difficult to answer emails, because you're at the conference, or you have to be present, and you cannot always write emails, right? When I come back to Vienna, I'm jet lagged, and I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the best time to answer all the emails. So.
For glyphs, at least, you're focusing on the technical, the software side, the app side. But to me, it seems like always you're regarding this as like a creative endeavor for you. Are you? I mean, it appears when you teach, it seems like your heart is into it. You're really enthusiastic about this thing.
Yes, because in a way, type design is a lot of craft, right? So it's like there is some design part. It's like what is it called? I think there was this quote. I don't know who said it. It's like 10% inspiration and 90% transpiration. Most of the time, you keep refining and you change something for 2 or 3 units because it's a little lighter or a little brighter or a little darker, so same thing for software. If you have the basic idea, you know what it's supposed to do, but you keep refining it and you keep working for a long time until you get it to do what it's supposed to do in an elegant way, or in a way that's useful for many people. If you compare like early versions of glyphs with the current version of glyphs, you see a lot of these refinements in there, where we tried to optimize the user interface, so people would, let's say, be able to quickly access the component or understand style linking more easily, because in early versions it was very difficult to get the style linking right, and now we have like a sentence that says this is the bold or the italic of, and then and now that's easier to understand. What helps in this is, at the one hand, Georg's sense for a user interface, So Georg really tries to have an application that is very Mac-like, and the way Mac users expect their software. And the other thing, the thing that I can contribute is I have like 16 years of teaching experience and explaining things to people, and yeah, I hope I could make some valuable contributions to the software for that.
What is teaching for you? What's its room in your heart?
In a way, my job at Glyphs is also teaching, because I do a lot of workshops. I write most of the tutorials. I write most of the handbook, and so in a way, this is also teaching. Also, like when people have questions about how the software works. If people have a question, how does this work in Glyphs? And this is also in a way teaching. Now, my background is I've taught at Die Grafische in Vienna, which is a graphic school in Vienna. It's a very old institution. It's been around for 130 years. And I've been lucky to have been teaching there for the past 16 years. Last year, for the last time, I'm now, I stopped teaching there because I don't have the time for it anymore. Between two businesses, it's too difficult. But the one thing about teaching is that now young students, my students were 16, 17, 18 years old, right? And of course, it's a difficult age, right? What you have to be aware of as a teacher is that you have a lot of influence on the students, even though you do not get verbal feedback from them. They will not tell you, oh, this was so great, thank you, you had so much influence on me. They will not tell you that. And you know, you teach them for years and they never say anything about it, you know. And it's okay, it's not their job to give the feedback. It's like, it's my job to know how to do it. But every once in a while, you know, a student comes to you, maybe even after they graduated, they come to you and say, oh, I learned this from you, and this is like, this is really, these are the few moments you do it for, you know. This is like, this is a very, almost heartbreaking sometimes, and yeah, it's really nice.
What would you like the ATypI attendees to take home with them from your talk?
I had a very technical presentation, and so I was just giving a rundown through the software. I hope that there was something new in it for everyone, and that when they come home and say, I saw this at that presentation, I want to try this, you know. And this is the maximum influence you can have on a person. This is also, like, this is the teacher in me that says, you show something to someone, and afterwards people do something because of that, and that's a very rewarding moment. I guess most of the people who will react like this and when they're at home, they will not tell me, so I don't really know. So I can only hope that this is happening.